Bosch is once again delivering significantly more power for your e-bike with its Performance Update 2.0. I've already been able to test this latest software update, and I'll show you exactly which bikes benefit when you really need the extra power and when you might be better off without it. Exactly 1 year after Bosch updated some of its motors from 85 Newton meters and 600 watts to 100 Newton meters and 750 watts, Bosch is now stepping it up again. Bosch is increasing the maximum motor torque from 100 Newton meters to a maximum of 120 for even more intense acceleration on the trail and in the city. The update is available for 5th generation Bosch Performance Line CX motors, including the race motor, as well as the Gen.5 cargo line motor, all identified by the BDU38 product number. In addition, Bosch is also increasing the maximum support from the current 400% up to 600%. This upgrade is also coming to more than just the Gen.5 motors, including the CX and CX Race of the 5th and 4th generations, as well as the cargo motors from Gen.5 and Gen.4, also with BDU38 or BDU37, and the Bosch Performance Line PX trekking motor also benefits from the support update. The 600% support will then be available to you in the Race, Turbo, EMTB Plus, Cargo and Auto modes. However, the peak power of 750 watts will remain as the upper limit. The update is available from the 4th of May 2026 and will be delivered to you via a Flow app update. You can find out what steps are needed to tear up the trail with 120 Newton meters on our channel soon, so feel free to subscribe. In addition to the motor limitations, it's also possible that your e-bike manufacturer limits the bike's maximum performance, depending on which components are installed. In the last update, this particularly affected e-bikes with hub gears. That does raise a more general question at this point. When does a performance upgrade to 120 Newton meters actually make sense? And when might you be better off dropping down a gear? But the very first time you crank all the settings up and feel that power, chances are you won't be able to wipe the grin off your face. That's just how it is, because riding around with that much power is simply great fun. In my opinion, you'll only really need that kind of power in very specific, exceptional situations. For example, in extreme terrain, when things get really steep. But even then, all that power is pointless if the rest of your bike isn't able to put it down properly. In other words, your tires need to be in good condition and offer plenty of grip. Your drivetrain, consisting of the chain and cassette, should also have seen some maintenance and not be too old. And of course, your riding technique itself should also be adapted to this new power. You don't want to overshoot a corner or flip over backwards on your bike. That's the only way you can really make the most of that extra power. In my opinion, the 120 Newton meters are a huge benefit for cargo bike riders who often carry heavy loads. They'll certainly be grateful for every bit of extra support, but keep in mind, more power also means more wear and tear. So, once that initial excitement of that first grin begins to fade away, dialing back those maximum settings might be a wise decision to make. This will help you save some money on replacement parts, and it also effectively helps conserve your battery life. This is because more work for the motor means a shorter range. I'll show you exactly how I set up my riding modes and how you can easily do it too in this video up here. In the end, it might simply be reassuring to know that your motor is capable of more than what you've actually set, even if you don't actively make use of that extra performance.
Ganz entspannt.
What's your take on this? Always in turbo mode, no matter what, or are you happy with a bit less power? Because honestly, that's often more than enough. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Before wrapping up the video, I'd also like to say a few words about Avanox and DJI, a topic that naturally comes up in this context. It's clear that this Performance Update 2.0 is a direct response to Avanox's recent releases. I've already explained in detail whether it's actually necessary, so please feel free to jump back if you missed that part. But there is one additional very important detail I want to highlight that I find truly remarkable. With the release of Performance Update 2.0, Bosch is not just updating its current line of motors, but they are also including older ones from 2022, when the smart system first launched. That is certainly not something you see on a daily basis, and other competitors will really have to step up to match that. So, you have to give a lot of credit to Bosch for continuing to support those legacy older motors. but as I said, that's just my personal opinion. What do you think about Bosch's 120 Newton meter update? Tell me all about it in the comments below, and while you're at it, subscribe so you don't miss any more news and tips about Bosch and others.